1 year ago, I finished Persona 5. Little did I know there was such thing as Persona 5 Royale. Taking the advice of the comments to play the Royale version, I took that up. Thus, I descended back into the world of Persona 5. This game literally changed my cognition of games. This is Persona 5 Royale. Don't go away. I don't even want to start talking about intro or XYZ because, listen, I played over 120 hours in Persona 5 Royale. How do I condense that into this review? Let's just go. And just a heads up, I will be attempting to avoid significant spoilers until I get to the end of this review, of which I will give you a warning, so let's go. So Persona 5 actually starts 2/3 away through the game. The first thing you'll do is you'll be escaping through this casino. Your party members, whom you don't even know yet and are silhouetted out so you don't even know what they look like, are giving you orders to just escape. Upon jumping through this window, you land, you eventually just get completely captured by the police, and the policeman tells you, well, you have your teammate to thank for this. You were sold out.
You have your teammate to thank for this. You were sold out.
And this line of "you were sold out" by one of your teammates lingers for a huge duration of this game. Right after that, you start at the actual very beginning of the game, about 6 months previously, and you're wondering, how do I, Joker, end up in that situation where I'm being interrogated now? Like, which teammate sold me out? And for such a long game, I think the dangling the carrot in front of your head tactic is such a good one for Persona 5. It's such a long game, you need to keep the player interested in the story the whole way through. While Persona 5 does tell an overarching total story, it is broken up into arcs. And every arc starts with a bit of that carrot dangling in front of your head, a little bit of information to make you say, oh, that's crazy. How do we end up there? But why are you even being interrogated at this point? How do we even get to any of this? Well, you play as Joker, an exchange student at Shujin Academy. On the surface, everything looks totally normal about the school. But the story dangles that carrot right in front of you of saying, hey, what happened with the gym teacher? He was accused of all sorts of crimes.
The PE teacher, Suguru Kamoshida. It all came out in his confession. He was guilty of everything. The abuse, the violations. But there should have been no connection between the two of you since you had just transferred. Why did you target him?
This leaves you with the curiosity of, hey, what's really going on here with this teacher? But one day on your way to school, through a mysterious force yet unknown to the player, you end up in what the game calls the metaverse. A world in which the cognition of people manifest physically. A world in which if someone has a distorted desire in real life, that manifestation will take the form of a palace in the metaverse. PE teacher Kamoshida views himself as the king of this school. He runs it. He's an Olympic medalist, which is why if you go into his cognition in the metaverse, the school transforms into a castle. The objective? Run your way through his castle, kill enemies, make your way to the top, find and steal his treasure, run away from the palace as it collapses. This collapsing of a palace will bring such an emotional weight down in Kamoshida in the real life, he'll atone for his sins and plead guilty to everything.
Don't run, you bastard! Shiho's still alive, even after all the things that made her want to die! You have no right to run from this!
You're right. You're absolutely right. I should be punished under the law and atone for my crimes.
It is a crazy idea for a story, but that is the best way I could describe it. And this Kamoshida PE teacher arc is just one of many arcs, because after you deal with Kamoshida, new villains pop up. That's all I'll speak on for the story for now, because I can't really talk about it the way I want to talk about it without spoilers, so I'll save that for the end. For now, let's focus on combat. And Persona 5 Royale takes the form of turn-based combat, which I swear to God is so underrated. Every combat scenario you go into is honestly essentially a mini puzzle. The puzzle is, how do you efficiently deal with these enemies? every enemy you encounter typically has a weakness to an affinity. Types of attacks in Persona 5 include basically all the common ones you would think of. Electric attacks, ice attacks, wind attacks, fire, psychic attacks, physical attacks. You get what I'm saying. Enemies can typically have one or more weaknesses. Hit that weakness and they will be knocked down, giving you a chance to follow up. With this, you can just 2-tap them, like you can just hit them again, or you can pass off to a teammate. Doing this pass off ups their damage. So you can imagine a scenario where you have a group of enemies and you hit their weakness 2 or 3 times. You could pass off to pass off to pass off. Once you get the max amount of pass offs for your party, damages just are so good. It is so satisfying to cleanly run a combat scenario where the enemy doesn't even get a turn and you just roll them over.
They've already gone. Switch with someone else.
Kaboom! 2,800! But not every enemy has a weakness. This is where technicals come in, and I honest to God use technicals almost as much as weaknesses. You can inflict ailments upon the enemies as they can to you as well. And these, there are so many ailments. Dizziness, sleep, fear, despair, burn, paralyzed. But if there are no weaknesses, try to freeze them. Follow up with a physical for a technical attack. If an enemy is burning on fire, follow up with a wind attack. There are so many smart ways you can go around combat here that the longer you play, the smarter you get at combat, which means the smoother combat gets.
You guys are weak to the gun?
Stay focused. There's an enemy that's confused. Give it some psychokinesis.
All according to plan.
There's also a number of things in combat that are completely out of your hands, but are extremely cool. Sometimes when attacking an enemy, a teammate will follow up with an extra attack. Completely random, by the way.
Can I beat that loser?
Yeah, do it. Crush his bones in.
On your knees. You're on the floor.
Done deal.
You're the best.
Murder him.
loser.
Sometimes your support member will provide help from the sideline.
Let's go. She needs help.
Thank you. Yo, for trouble, other than saving my life, you haven't clocked in a shift yet. Oh, shit! No way! That's hilarious.
And sometimes you get the big one, a showtime attack.
Fired up. It's time for the grand finale. That's our cue. Ha! Transform! Do pardon me. So hardcore.
Some party members have showtime attacks with each other, and these are like, these aren't even attack moves, these are full-blown cutscenes, and some of them are just so cool.
Stay focused. You ready for this? Time to die!
And I genuinely could just for hours non-stop just do random encounters in Persona 5 and just keep running with the combat.
Damn, okay.
Finish this beautifully, just the way you like.
For a show! Wield your beauty. Let it be your weapon.
After all, let's kick out!
Your fate is sealed. Unworthy of my grace.
There he beat and used my persona!
So that's the combat side of things for Persona 5 Royal. Now take a look at this image. This depicts two sides of Persona 5. There are two parallels here. The palace, metaverse, combat scenario you see on this side, and on the other side you have the other half of this game. This half I like to call social simulation and story progression. Live the stereotypical life of a ordinary, normal student. That is actually a mission you have in the beginning of the game. That is the objective in the top right. And the super cool thing I love about Persona is that it puts a lot of the power of the story elements in the player's hands. Of course, you can't change really the overarching story elements, but everything that is the core of that, all the characters, you get to control. Because you typically get 2 time slots during a day, and you always have a set amount of time in between story arcs. Say 25, 20, 30 days. And in those days, you get the 2 typical time slots. Sometimes you'll get 1, sometimes you'll get none. But you can use up a time slot to, well, go fishing, work a part-time job, play some pool, play some darts, visit a jazz club, solve some crossword puzzles, play baseball.
Bang! On the last one! No way!
Nice.
Holy fuck, thank God.
Or the thing that you'll mostly be doing, hanging out with your social links.
Okay, Lala-chan, bring out my bottle and 2 glasses, please. Oh, come on.
The face.
Whoa, her silence is golden. Fine, fine, fine. I won't make the high schooler drink.
Social links are people who throughout the game you'll get to know from a level of 1 through 10. If you really boil it down, what these social links are for characters are short stories. Every character has a story arc for themselves from beginning to end, rank 1 to 10. And they're honestly really well done. Genuinely, one of the best moments of these games for me is always getting to a rank 10 because it's fully voice acted. It is the conclusion to a story for that character. Genuinely, some of the most memorable moments for me is finishing a social link and hitting that rank 10.
Hard. And after all, I already have something I wouldn't have been able to get on my own. You don't think so? No, you're forgetting. You gave me something really important. You gave me my life back. It's thanks to you that I learned I'm fine just as I am. And that I learned to trust my mom again. I was as good as dead. But you resurrected me.
But here's the real genius of Persona 5 Royal, and I know other Persona games do this as well, but gameplay grinding, typically if you think of gameplay grinding in normal games, you go out and you kill enemies for XP, or you do quests for XP, money, XYZ. In Persona 5 Royal, the grinding that you do is story-based. Everything that I've listed out has a direct correlation impact to your progression in the metaverse in terms of not just gameplay like XP upgrades and stuff, but genuine gameplay features and modifiers. If you fish enough, you'll get enough points to shop at the fish shop and gain rare items. Working a part-time job provides you money. Playing pool ups your technical damage and increases your odds for a technical to down an enemy. Playing darts ups your baton pass damage.
I'm just sniping corners out here, man.
Visiting a jazz club has a different effect per each day of the week for who you invite. Playing baseball allows you to unlock rare accessories. And hanging out with your social links is the most important one because those provide you these super big upgrades. One of the social links provides you the ability to ask for huge sums of money in negotiating with the enemies. I literally robbed people blind in this game using this ability.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna spam this.
Not bad. Not bad.
That punk!
Come on, you guys were in such a bad position.
Nice, Joker. Just at the last second.
What? Now this guy gives up? His teammate gives up? That's freaking hilarious.
Not bad.
I am totally robbing you guys. Hey!
This weakling.
Come back here, man.
Zone, don't run.
I won't give up!
Wow, you got 2 of them, Queen.
Oh my, no way. I'm gonna act. No, just give me the money. No. 5K.
Not bad. Not bad. What? Be
All
careful.
right. How much cash did I get out of this?
Okay, let's move on.
82,000.
Another ability is this kid. He's the tower social link. He's just a normal kid who actually bullies other kids, but then in the end turns around.
Through all the pain, and with your help, I was able to change.
One of the many abilities he provides is Special Shot, a move Joker can pull off with his gun that will instantly down an enemy.
Does it ever work against this guy?
Amazing, Joker!
No way.
Let's go.
I'm gonna spam.
I could go on and on and on about the upgrades and features that are the social links provide, because there are so many social links in this game. Each of them come with 3, 4, 5 abilities that directly impact what you do in the metaverse. And I just think that is so fun from a game perspective, that yes, you do earn XP and money in the metaverse killing enemies, but the real gameplay grinding in this game for new abilities is unlocked through enjoying the story elements.
Shut up! I saw you eating around those pickle things or whatever they are, Justine.
That wasn't food from this Earth. It was clearly a alien spawn of some sort.
What? Is this true? Hey, is it true or not? I ate all of mine, you know.
But here's the part where the player has agency. Because you only get 2 time slots a day. That's when the difficult decision comes in of what do you do during those time slots. You could have a couple activities you'd like to do, but also at the same time have like 4 or 5 or 6 different people all vying for your time of day.
I mean, it is definitely fun. Oh my god, I got so many, man.
So which characters you get to know, which short stories within the main story progress, which upgrade abilities you decide you want to go after is completely up to you. For presentation, I don't even know what to say. Persona 5 blows presentation out of the water. Where do I don't even know, what do I even, where do I start? The normal things like video game main menus that typically are overlooked, Persona 5 literally makes you look at them. No matter where you look in this game, there is something cool to look at. I literally don't have a negative for the way this game visually presents itself. From the all-out attacks,
Learn your lesson?
to the designs of the personas, to the designs of the move attacks the personas use, the many different headshots of people talking, all the way to the full-blown animated cutscenes. Playing this game, you feel completely spoiled at how much effort was put into the design of how everything looks here.
Is that it?
There we go.
But here's my Persona 5 Royale hot take. I don't even know if it's really that much of a hot take. I think this game is even more impressive audibly than it is visually. It sincerely shocks me how good the voice acting is. For such a long game, I couldn't imagine, if you have the script in your hands for Persona 5 and you give it out to the voice actors, it's like, yo, this is massive. And to give your 100% effort the whole way through consistently, it is the voice acting is good here.
Moment. You aren't some rotten artist. You're a despicable fiend who wears the skin of an artist.
But I could sit here all day and talk to you about voice acting. It's much easier to just show you a clip.
Futaba-chan?
What denies you is an illusion. A curse put upon you by the heartless. You knew from the very beginning. And yet, you cowered in fear.
Oh, that's right. I knew, but I...
It's all your fault. This time you'll be the one to die.
Will you die as you are told? Who will you obey?
And the huge part of this game audibly for presentation, the music. You remember that image I showed you about the two sides of Persona? Well, the music follows suit with that too. On one side, you have a much more chill and relaxing side of music. There isn't insane stuff happening in your day-to-day life in Shibuya, and the music follows suit with that. I've always said on this channel, music is super important, and the role of music in all scenarios is always to enhance what's being shown on screen. And that's why music works so well here, is because there's two totally different sides to it. Because you go from that chill side in Tokyo to in the metaverse, you get a much more rough and impactful, gritty sound. Every combat theme, every boss theme just drives home the fact that even though you're in turn-based combat, you aren't physically moving anywhere. The music and the story as a whole really drives home that this is a Game 7 scenario. I play guitar in real life, and I genuinely know at least 9 or 10 Persona 5 songs on there. I am not understating when I say the Persona 5 soundtrack is straight up addicting.
God damn.
Persona!
How about my turn?
Let's go.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
So, overall impact for Persona 5 Royale. I don't even know what to say. This is a case of an extremely rare case where a game transcends being a game. For whatever reason it was that I started playing Persona 5, whatever pushed me in that direction, I am insanely grateful for. And while I'm really trying to keep the review tight-knit here, there's just still so much I haven't talked about that is very important to this game. The Velvet Room. The more you play this game, the more you really appreciate how intricate the tools you use for combat are. Those tools are personas. I've spent so much time in the Velvet Room on this run through. You can spend so much time in the Velvet Room crafting your specific personas. Literally, if you spend enough time, get to know the workings of the Velvet Room, you can create some absolute monstrosities of personas that are very strong. Whether it's through fusion, where you can sacrifice 2 or even up to 3, 4, 5 personas to get just 1, you can itemize personas, sacrifice 1 for a strong item, train your persona. If you have a favorite persona, you can lock him up and he'll upgrade his stats and you can come back a few days later. It is so fun to just roster a full team of personas that are just like a all-star team basically. And the one main thing that I think this game has huge that's going for it that I haven't mentioned yet is its pacing. For a 120-hour game, my eyes were glued to it all the time. The reason being is because the story is intriguing enough that you're like, okay, I'm intrigued. You get to that point where it's like, hey, now it's combat scenario, you're in the metaverse, you're around the palace, you can spend 2, 3, even 4 gaming sessions in the metaverse, and then it's like, well, I've been in the palace for a long time, I've been in the metaverse, time to go back for story. Go back to the story, run around Tokyo, do your things, hang with your social links, and you start to get that itch of, hey, I got all these upgrades now, I can go to the metaverse. The rolling waves of stories that this game goes through, the arcs, is just perfectly timed for pacing. And even then, there is still the ace up the sleeve. The dark horse to pacing here is Mementos. Mementos is the physical cognition of everyone. While people like King Kamoshida, the PE teacher, has his own castle, everyone else's cognition sort of combines into this one underground subway spot. It's here that you can go in between palaces whenever you want, keep descending down and down and down this spiral, almost never-ending thing. But the enemies here aren't really that strong unless you're fighting the Grim Reaper, and it's just super chill. It's the perfect mix between intense combat in the metaverse and palaces versus the everyday chillness of walking around in Tokyo. Combine those two, you get Mementos.
Please don't, man. Shit, that's hot.
This is the part of the video where I will put up the warning of spoiler talk. I'm revealing everything here. Persona 5 Royal does this thing that completely blows down my defense system of anticipating that it's going to be a great game, a great experience, and it just one-ups it, and one-ups it, and one-ups it. It's like it just keeps one-upping itself. The first major twist here of who your traitor was revealed as is Akechi. This entire sequence of Sae-Niijima, Akechi showing him the phone, escaping, like that whole twist of faking your own death, having it displayed on the news, like that whole twist is what normal games would call their twist ending.
We have breaking news. The young man being held in custody has committed suicide. The police have confirmed his death, although details have not been released. To repeat, the suspect has committed suicide while in custody.
This is just the first part of the story twist that happens in Persona 5. Because after this, you go into the Shido arc, you get Rivers in the Desert, and that's the ending of the game. But wait a minute, it's not. Then you get to the depths of Mementos, and you get the entire Lavenza twins left eye, right eye reveal.
Your right eye and my left. It's as if they're the same, yet mirrored.
That's quickly followed up by fighting the God of Control. That is just like everything just keeps one-upping itself. The story aspects, the music just keeps one-upping itself.
Pride, don't attack or you'll get countered instantly!
Mother Harlot!
No biggie.
I am thou.
And you still don't even stop there, because then you got the true ending with the Royale ending. And with that comes one of the best written villains I've ever seen. A villain in which you are genuinely sorry for, who has a actual argument. It's like the villain, Dr. Maruki, has a legit argument for a villain that I had to sit and think, you know, his idea of creating a world in which everyone is happy non-stop and there's no pain 24/7. For me personally, really, it's not even close. The problem comes with the player's choice of taking away the happiness of everyone else. That's where the mental tug of war comes in for Dr. Maruki. Whether you want to strip that actualization world reality away from everyone else. Because his dream is to have that world where there's no pain. Everyone is happy no matter what. And the whole Royale ending has such a different feeling from the rest of the villains because he's genuinely not a bad guy, but you're still going all out on combat.
I gave up everything! Everything! So why?
And that's all to say that I still haven't mentioned my favorite character in this game, potentially my favorite character of anything. Goro Akechi. I literally could not mention his name in voice acting because I would have spoiled everything, but Goro Akechi's voice actor genuinely is so good. You almost think, man, he's really good at playing like this psychopath, nothing to lose character that you almost feel like concerned for the actual voice actor.
I don't give a shit! All I care about now is killing you to prove I'm better than you!
Every line Akechi delivers is some of my favorites. Everything Akechi does in this game, every Persona call of Loki, anything he does, Akechi is the coolest freaking character I know.
What's going on with you? Weaklings like you! That was disappointing.
So with that being said, I do actually have 2 negatives about this game, believe it or not. My first one is actually a pretty common one. Where's the item management filters here? Come on. You have so many items in this game that when you use an item in combat, they're already filtered. HP items followed by SP items followed by the other, like they're already filtered. And once you get to know that, it's pretty easy to find them. But still, I wish you had a super easy L1 R1 tab feature to just cycle to specific items. I probably lost at least 20 minutes in this game looking through items. And my second negative, I will say, I swear I'm the only one who's ever said this. I wish party members and other characters had a genuine reaction to who you romance. In this game, you can romance someone and it doesn't affect story really. There are 10 potential romances in this game, I believe. I am a firm Yoshizawa and Makoto fan.
Smash.
Senpai. What a pleasant surprise.
But I wish that when you started a romance with someone, other team members would have like genuine reactions to that. Like romancing Makoto or romancing Yoshizawa should just be like, wow. But still yet at this part of the review, I feel like I'm still letting so much slip by of what I should mention. How weather plays an impact, the fact you can play the lottery system in here, I didn't know this until this playthrough.
Cash in this ticket. What? No way, I just won $100,000. That's crazy. What?
Whoa!
Hell, I haven't even mentioned the Thieves' Den. You can go to the Thieves' Den, which is basically a hub world. In here, you can look at concept art for the game, you can listen to all the soundtracks, you can place art decoration around and have discussions about them with your other party members, and the big one, Tycoon Revolution. It doesn't play as big as a role as Gwent did for Witcher 3, but you can still sit down and play this card game with the objective of getting rid of all your cards with other party members. I spent at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours just playing Tycoon Revolution. Hell, when the game ended, when I beat Persona 5 Royal, I spent an hour in Tycoon Revolution because I just didn't want to quit out of the game.
I'll end this. You're ending it?
That's my senpai.
My point is, for this review, there is no physical way I could get across my experience of Persona 5 to you behind the screen. Persona 5 Royal is something that I will take with me for the rest of my life. No matter which angle I try to look at this game, story, characters, music, gameplay, any minute or major detail is not overlooked here. Hell, even music lyrics in the game have a direct correlation to what you're doing in-game. I really don't have the language to give a high enough endorsement to Persona 5 Royal, so I'll just do it in terms of numbers. This is an easy one. Persona 5 Royal, 10 out of 10. So that's it. I've played Persona 5 Vanilla. I watched my friend play through Persona 5 Royal up until the Royal ending so they get spoiled. And then I myself played Persona 5 Royal all the way through. That is like 350 hours in the past year of Persona 5. And the funniest part is, I really just want to play it again. And on top of that, even after that first playthrough and second watch through of my friend, there was still a whole ton of stuff I've never seen or experienced that I got to see in this playthrough of Royale. There's that much content. Now that I will probably not play another game that'll last 120 hours for a very long time. I'm your host, Saberplay Entertainment. Hope you just review. Peace out. What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.